with the Kays, episode 2.
Episode 2.
Episode 2.
We're live and in person.
Yeah, we're trying something new. We've got new coffee. So we've got new coffee.
Here it is.
New topics. Right off the bat. Okay, for the people that are listening, can I see?
It's
Mrs. Kaye is holding up a bag of coffee right now.
Wait. Where did you get that bag of coffee, Mrs. Kaye?
I got it from, we got it from a student, one of our guitar students who's been with us for a while, who's so encouraging.
Shout out to David.
And shout out to David. Thank you,
David. Thank you.
David gave us Peaberry, which is 100% Kona coffee from Greenwell Farms since 1850. And I've been hearing a lot about this Peaberry. That's been kind of the new thing.
Josh, give us the skinny on pea berries.
It smells really good.
Well, essentially, it is a berry, so a lot of times the coffee beans, all the time, the coffee beans come from a fruit. You know, it's usually a cherry type fruit, right? But this specific type of berry has 2 of the coffee seeds in it in one. So just, 2 peas in a pod.
Oh, that's so cute.
And you worked on that all day.
I know.
I love that. That's it. This is our new, it's very good. It's definitely got a strong taste. Josh made us the French press, Ron and I are having, and I'm using it's the wrong hand, but
Boston Mom.
Yeah, Boston University Mom.
There you go.
There you
Shout out Boston.
Woo.
Hey, and Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday was yesterday.
Hey, where did he go to school?
Boston.
He did. He got his Master's of Divinity or a
You said
doctorate.
that so quiet.
Yes, very good. Actually, I think
Boston University.
Say it with pride, man.
That's right. Go Terriers.
Okay, never mind. Go Terriers. And one of my students at school, they came to the car rider line and they had a Boston Terrier.
Oh, did they?
So I had to go up to the car and roll the window. Is that a Boston Terrier? And they were like, yes.
So funny.
Go away, lady. Leave my kids alone.
I said, my son is a Boston Terrier. And they were like, what?
What?
I said, he went to Boston.
Yeah.
So that's
for the people that have not been following this the whole time here, yes, I got a master's degree in music education from Boston University.
Yay.
Yeah, we'll be official on the 25th.
This month?
Yes.
All right,
this month.
good.
So that's it. So I have to wait until the 25th before I submit the paperwork so I can get paid more.
There you go.
I was wondering about that.
I told them I have I'm thinking that I have a problem because
see that?
I know. Right back to me.
That was it.
Because I've
what
ordered
are you
of this
doing?
Coffee, and here's another one.
What did you bring the entire cabinet out?
I told you should have told
and then
her
I
to go
had
get
some
the
I know,
coffee.
I'm just get the bag we're drinking right now.
I just thought it was funny. It was like, no, I don't.
You know we're not
I don't
getting
have a
paid for
problem.
this, right?
It's okay.
Yes. Here comes the Grounds and Hounds commercial.
I know,
I do.
right?
I really like Grounds and Hounds, and so I'm trying this. I haven't had it yet, but I'll have to tell you. And Boyer's is my other new favorite. That's from Colorado.
And I'm not drinking any of these right now, so
None
I really
of
don't
them
even know
right
what they
now.
taste like, but I really like them.
I know.
But we've tried twice to do this podcast, and we've had to have it a different day.
Yes.
So this is the coffee I was drinking the last 2 times, and I wanted to share this.
You know that
because
we're going to do more episodes. You're aware.
I know, but I'm almost out.
Oh, okay.
This was a gift
It's
from.
not going to make it till next week.
No, it's not. I really like it. That's why this was from Mr. Van. Shout out Mr. Van. He's one of my colleagues at school.
Mr. Van.
Mr. Van.
Good man, Mr. Van.
And he plays the saxophone, and so anyway, and a lot of other things as well. But this is Florida. This is from Gainesville. So this is like
like a
local coffee.
Yeah, it's local.
Yeah.
Gainesville, fresh roasted, organic. And when I read it, it was really strange. It said, tasting notes, dark chocolate. Now that's not strange. You get a lot of that in some of these.
Yeah.
Tea, mild smoke. It was a little strange.
So it's a cigar and coffee in one.
I was wondering about that. So, but when you taste
Has to do with the roast. It must be a dark. Is it a dark roast? Yes. That's fine.
But it's really good, and it definitely doesn't have any kind of the sweet undertones like I was, the orange juice I was drinking that one time. I didn't like.
Orange juice.
Nobody knows about orange juice.
no.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
No.
So anyway, I will put these back down. I was trying to have an amusing moment with my coffee habit.
Yeah.
Ooh.
That's okay.
Yes, sorry. I'm trying not to make noise. I'm doing it very gently because Josh said not to crinkle the coffee.
Yeah, I know.
So, there, okay.
So.
But this is very good.
Greenwell Farms.
Yes, it's very
Yes.
strong.
Yeah,
Maybe it's the way you
100%.
make
It
it.
is strong.
No,
I'm
so-
wondering if you just made a regular cup of coffee with that, would it be as strong as this? Or because French press, that's
Well,
a
yeah, so
strong coffee.
French press tends to
oils.
get a little bit more of the oils in it, right? Yeah,
But
that's
it's-
it.
I
'Cause
mean,
you
it's-
squeeze
has a
it,
lot
you
of
squeeze it
flavor
out
to
like
it,
that. Well,
definitely.
and that's part of why I thought it would be good to do the French press for you guys. I just did a pour over, which I mean, just a pour over is good.
Is
yeah.
it strong like that?
Oh yeah, it's definitely well. So this is what's called a full city roast, and according to David, it has twice as much caffeine because of the pea berry thing. So I
So
wonder
we'll
if
be
that's
up
part of
watching
what
football tonight.
Woohoo!
Hey,
Thanks,
Hey,
David.
hey,
There we go.
thanks,
Cheers to
David.
ya.
How's
Perfect.
that? That was my
That was a great segue.
into the next section.
You know, the thing about a good
Oh.
segue is you don't have to always announce that was a segue.
I like announcing it.
Cleveland rocks. Cleveland rocks. Cleveland rocks. Cleveland rocks.
Okay,
There we go.
I know. I could go get my Cleveland paraphernalia
Oh,
now.
I know. That's it. No, I wear my hat on.
So how about those
Oh,
Browns?
about those
how
Browns?
Browns?
Oh.
I mean, yeah.
There's people that are Browns fans now coming out of the woodwork.
Yes, they are.
Literally talked to a student this week, and he was like, "I'm a closet Browns fan." And he's like coming out of the closet now because.
Or that guy, the stranger we just walked into.
Oh, yeah.
Oh wow! So you're a Browns fan? Huh? Well, I'm from Pittsburgh.
And we all, and it was like,
Oh, they feel your pain.
I
man.
didn't even need to say anything. That was beautiful.
And what did he say? Well, it's your turn.
That's it.
And he
Yeah.
walked away. She just said, "Well, it's your turn."
That's right.
No,
it is our
they
turn.
knew,
It
they
is our
knew.
turn.
It's been
Come
our
on.
turn for 60 years, man.
Man,
It's
no,
awesome.
but we earned it this time. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, it goes back to what I was saying. If you haven't watched episode 1, you need to go back and watch
Go back.
episode 1. But we talked
Season
about
2, episode
season
1?
2, episode 1.
Okay.
Oh, I thought season 1, episode 1. That
Well,
one
you
was
know,
good
yeah,
too.
you could go back to the original.
Go all the way
absolutely.
back.
You could do that too. They're up there, Spotify, Anchor, all that. But anyway, you know, because we talked about how when you've been a part of the fan base, and you've been with the group for so long, how, you know, grinding through the bad times makes the good times all that more exciting, you know?
Yes.
And the fact that we were with that losing season, that 0-16, and, you know, and we were still...
32.
Oh yeah, I mean that was it. It was terrible, and so all of the craziness that we went through and the drama, and you know, Ray Farmer getting fined by the NFL for texting the guys on the field during the game, and I mean,
Wow.
it just we could just go on
Embarrassing.
and on.
Oh.
You know, geez.
But here's something really interesting was all the coaching staff got COVID. So like it's like a pickup game on a school lot.
I know.
And they pulled it off.
They
pulled it off.
And
I
they
know.
crushed the
Yes.
Steelers, man.
That was awesome.
That was like, oh my God, that's
So-
so amazing.
So it made me think a lot about Stefanski. You know, Kevin Stefanski's the head coach, right? And the fact that he got COVID, and he in his press conferences was extremely confident that
they
they
were-
were,
yeah,
that
that
they
they
were
were
going to
gonna do
continue
it.
because
Yes.
they had set up a system,
Right.
and they were going to follow the system.
Yes.
And he was like, "They don't need me there because we set up the system."
Right.
And what you know what it made me think of?
I do.
I know you know what it made me think of. That's it. But it made me think of how we prepare our students for performance,
Yep.
and you prepare them, or the audition, or you know the going off to college or whatever, and you prepare and you set up the system and you get them going, and then you know what? You don't need to be there the whole time.
Right.
Yeah.
Because now you've set them
You
up.
hit play.
Yes.
That's it, and they go, and then it is so rewarding. Like I can imagine, like some people are like, "Oh man, he must be so disappointed that he sat there," and I'm sure there was a little bit of that, but I
No.
imagine he was over
So,
the moon in the fact that
they did it.
what he told them to do.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Those commentators were talking about him being quarantined in the basement. Now he's probably hearing his wife pounding on there.
They're all jumping up and down. That's it. That's it. Exactly.
That's awesome,
Exactly.
man.
But you know, that's very true because, you know,
I shouldn't have hit that so hard, should I?
that's all
It's
right.
okay. I already did it, so you know.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
we're
It's
clicking
okay.
all
Beat
over
me
the
to
place.
it.
Yeah.
That's why I just hold
Hey, it lets
That is
everybody know that this is authentic. Okay?
Yes.
It's
very
authentic.
That's right.
No, but it is, as a teacher, you do a lot. You put so much in, you invest in your students. You really do. You give a little bit of yourself really to every student.
Absolutely.
And a coach. It's the same as being a coach. And you have to let go, because when they're on the field, he can't be running out there on the field.
No.
How about that guy that just walks into the sub head coaching job for the first time in his NFL
I know.
career
I know.
with the Browns,
I know.
and then they
it.
beat the Steelers.
That's it.
And he wants to be
what-
a head coach.
And like,
so
what was
he's
the score?
gonna-
It was like 28-0 in the first quarter. Or
Oh
something.
yeah.
Oh my
yeah.
God,
I know.
man.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, Alex Van Pelt was the offensive coordinator. Why am I blanking on his name? The special teams coach
Yes.
was the one that they promoted today.
Pfeiffer.
Yes,
Pfeiffer.
yes, there you go. Well, that's the thing. Is that was
How about
good.
Look
me?
at that stuff.
Very good, very good. Respect, absolutely.
She got an earpiece in.
I know, right? It's that she got the
Her
guy
little statistician.
just like in the booth. Yeah, that's it. But that's the thing is, I mean, one heck of an audition for him as far
Yes.
as
Head
wanting to be a
coaching
head
jobs.
coach. I mean,
Yeah.
that was great, and I mean. You gotta hand it to him. He did it.
He did a good job,
He did
yeah.
a good job. He went with it, But that's once again, I go back to it was
They
a
were
testament
prepared.
to how Stefanski has set up. Really, him and Andrew Berry, the GM, they had designed the organization
Well,
to be able to do it that
are
way.
you thanking people?
Am I thanking
Because
people?
I put Pouncy on that list.
Yes, thank you, Bouncy.
Play one.
Yes,
Second one.
we thank
of
you
the
so
game.
much. We
Shot that
appreciate
thing
that.
over. I don't know how tall is
Big Ben,
Roethlisberger.
he's like
He's-
six
We
five.
call him Big Ben for
Yeah,
God's
he's
sake.
a
How do
big
you
dude.
miss that?
And then when you get this,
Yes.
it's his hand, and it was
Like
like another
he
3
shot it
feet
three
over there.
stories in the air. Like,
Yeah.
come
I
on.
know, yeah.
I'm sorry if you're listening and you're a Steelers fan, but you
Oh
shouldn't
my
be here
gosh.
anyway. Come
I
on.
know.
And he's running back there, and he's
You're
like,
like, what?
I ain't going after that.
It's-
So Cleveland gets it.
yeah, I guess we
So,
lost
you
that
know,
That
one.
was my kind of play. I'll tell
Yeah.
you.
It was
Oh.
this week. The Cleveland is all like they're probably. I hope the center does that again.
I know,
Miss
I
out
know,
on
I know.
the Chiefs.
Well,
the
so
Chiefs.
we are playing the Chiefs tomorrow. Well, and if you're listening to this, we've already played the Chiefs.
We've already
so
played the Chiefs and we
Yeah.
won.
we're
We
either
beat
running
them.
through the neighborhood with our shirts off, screaming and yelling, or But even if I was talking to a student about this yesterday, I mean, well, it's like everybody. It's been a whole week. Because
Every day.
anybody who knows
Yes.
us is
No,
like
yes,
they
I know.
bringing this up. So, and just for the record, living here in Pensacola, Florida, it does seem like we're the only Cleveland Browns fans here.
Well, we're not. 'Cause
We're
you're
not. We know.
We know we're not.
We know we're not.
But they've always been hiding.
There's
So
a Browns.
there's a
Oh,
Browns
there
backer
is.
here.
They
Yeah,
They are, and
well,
I looked
just-
them up on the internet.
Are they still
have a website.
Still meeting?
Yep.
Okay, there you go. What's up? Anyway, people talking about the Browns is so exciting and all this stuff. And it's like, well, they might not beat the Chiefs, and I'm like, even if they lose,
Yeah, I'm so proud.
this was one heck of a season.
It
is,
I mean,
it
it
is.
just
I know,
and the
I know.
progression that this team made. Because we were not just like sunk in the mud. We were like 6
Buried.
feet down.
I know,
You
yeah,
know,
yeah.
like it was
That's
just there was so much.
But on that same point, think about if they wouldn't have got rid of Schobert and Odell
I
Beckham
know.
wouldn't have got hurt.
Oh
Yeah,
my gosh,
I know.
I know.
That
Big-
team would have been unstoppable. man.
Absolutely.
Well, and that's the thing is like
Yeah.
people have said, I don't like this way of thinking, but some people have said that wow, it's awfully coincidental that they got better after Odell left, and I'm like, no,
It has nothing to do with
that's
that.
it. Well, but
He was a motivator. He
that's
had-
the
Yes.
They
thing.
actually picked him up to a higher level before he got hurt.
Exactly.
Yes.
And then I think that I really felt like after him getting hurt, because he was a mentor
Yes.
especially to those other young receivers that were in that room. And so after he went down, that was motivation for them to
Yeah.
be like,
They
hey,
gotta step it up.
step it
Yeah.
up. And they did. Look at
Yeah,
that Donovan
yeah.
Peoples-Jones and
Yeah.
Rashad Higgins. And I mean, they stepped it
You know,
up.
They
Higgins got that one hiccup every game.
I know, you always have to. It's
First
yeah,
pass,
that's
you
it.
almost know he's gonna
That's
miss
it.
it.
know.
That's it.
Could be like a 5-yard thing, or
That's
it could
it.
be
Well,
10 yards, but
once again,
it's gonna go.
That's and they man.
But then after that,
And
he's on.
I
Every
give him
single time.
credit because
Yeah.
he
You know,
brings it together. I think
Hooper
it's
is
like
the
nerves.
exact same way. But
Oh, yeah,
Hooper
I
is the
know.
exact same
Yeah.
way. He has that one critical drop. It's like
Yeah.
third down, and okay, we need this, and he drops it, and it's like we want to kill Hooper.
Yes.
I
And
know.
then he'll come out and catch touchdowns, and he's running
And he really
blocking,
did well
and
at this-
Yeah.
And
this
wouldn't
game
you like to
with
know what the
the
formula was for turning these guys around after like a major flub?
Oh,
one,
man.
one flub, and then they're
I
like,
know.
"That's it. I'm not ever doing that again."
That's
this
it.
game," you know?
I know.
And then they were great after
That's
that.
it.
you know?
That's it. I
Well,
know.
one of
That's
the
good.
things that we were watching one of those shows. I don't know. Josh had it on his Million Channel television. That
Oh, yeah.
and it
Yeah,
talked
that's
about that at the
Million
beginning.
Channel.
I
I
don't
know.
know.
That's how I'm like, geez.
We watch one channel.
That's
That's it.
What would we do without me?
You
I
have
TV?
to like get up and turn it on. I'm sorry.
You know, the NFL channel and MeTV.
There you
Yeah,
go.
what
Bugs
else
Bunny,
could you
I'm
need?
telling you.
No,
Yep.
that's it.
But they talked about how that at the beginning of this whole progression, that Stefanski's his whole idea, his whole thing was that they need to build relationships and that they need to grow together
Yeah.
as
Yeah.
friends, as
Well, they had to
people.
lose that mindset, that
Right.
loser
That's it.
mindset.
That's
But they
it.
had to get to know each other. They said
Right.
if people are friends and they like each other, then they'll play together and they
Well, and they
like,
trust each other.
and they
I mean,
trust
that's
each
the
other.
thing.
Yes.
They
Yeah.
almost had a bit of that, you know, when the, not the last game, because the last game was spectacular.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if it goes against them, and
Yeah.
the momentum shifts, you know, it's a fumble or
Right.
something
Or
like
it's a
that.
bad call,
Yeah.
you
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
I mean,
like, yeah.
they just pout and go into this like
Yeah.
mental funk, and it gets
It
really
destroys
bad.
them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And in
Yeah.
years past, they would stay there
Right.
until they lost the game.
Right.
But they're learning how to overcome that,
Right.
which is
Absolutely.
what I see happening.
Right.
is they get that funk, you see it, I even tell you when it's happening,
it's
oh, man,
you
there
see
they
it.
go, you
Yeah.
know.
I
And
know.
then they pull it out. They,
Well, and
they
then
pull
what we
themselves up
saw
by their bootstraps.
In
That's
that
it.
game you were talking about, I don't remember, it was a couple games ago. Actually, they were playing the Titans, I think, and the momentum kept shifting back and forth.
Oh, yeah.
And then you see Baker on the sideline.
Yeah.
Picking them
Yeah.
up, come on, walking up
Oh,
and
yeah,
down
yeah.
and trying.
Well,
and
he's
so-
really stepped in to
Yeah,
become
I
a leader.
love it.
And
I
Baker,
love
if
that.
you're watching this, don't you
Baker.
dare grab your damn pads,
Yeah.
okay?
That
Come
makes
on,
you
man.
look weak, man.
That's
Yeah.
it. That's
Even
it.
though
If he
Hollywood-
grabs himself like this, you know it's
Yeah.
like, oh
But
man, he's
Hollywood
down.
does that. He does
Yeah.
his little shimmy.
Well,
He
that's
grabs
different.
That's a different
That's
thing.
a
This is like the
celebration.
surrender right here. When he
Yeah,
goes
yeah.
like this,
Yeah.
it's like that's
It's
the
not
game
just
is
Baker,
over.
it's a lot of quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Whenever they start, you know, the weight of those pads is too much to
That's
bear.
it. That's
Oh,
it.
no.
We're weighing down like
Yeah.
that. It's
It's
like,
like a
no,
horse collar, you
come
know?
on, man.
Yeah.
That's it.
But yeah,
Stop.
I think that, you know, you see what I'm seeing out of Baker is that he's having fun playing the game, just like we like watching Aaron Rodgers because he looks like he's having fun.
Yes.
And
Yeah,
I mean,
there
I
you
know
go.
it's a job and it's a business, and that's, you know, they're probably really sore the next day, I'm sure. But Baker looks like he's enjoying himself, and he's out there with his buddies, like picking
Yeah.
up a
Yeah,
you
well,
know
that's
a
it.
neighborhood
That's it.
game, and
Exactly.
and it really, that whole mentality is so pervasive in any kind of educational.
Well, we
setting.
talk about that as being teachers.
Yes.
That, you know, sometimes, you know, first of all, in order to be effective as a teacher, there has to be a level of trust. You have to be able
Yes.
to trust your teacher
Yep.
that they're going to lead you to the right direction, you know, and then the teacher has to earn that trust as well. But when you develop that relationship, that's what makes it flow so much better.
It does.
Whether it's a relationship with a class or if it's the one-on-one instruction, like, you know, what we do here. you know.
Here, yes, right. Actually,
It's-
here.
Yeah,
in this
we are
very
here
place.
at Ron Kaye's
On
Music
location.
Instruction. Yes,
On
on
location,
location. That's
yes.
right. But you know, that's the thing, is that's one of the reasons, and it is. I think sometimes that can be hard, just because it does become really personal.
It does.
You know,
It
as
does.
as teachers, we develop these personal relationships with our students. You know, but that is why it's so effective. You know, the instruction can be
Yes.
effective. You know, because
And it's oh, I forgot to silence my phone.
oh,
Sorry.
silence your
Sorry.
phones.
Sorry, guys.
That's what, $5,000 fine?
I'm
Yes,
sorry.
that's what it is. That's what it is.
Sorry.
You will be.
But you know, we develop those relationships, and I had a student text me just yesterday. Shout out to Layla if you're watching. I told her to watch our podcast.
Hey, Layla.
Layla.
Yeah.
That she, you know, just checking in, and I taught her for ever since
Lot of
she was
years.
in 3rd grade. So she was
Oh,
like
wow, 3rd
8
grade.
or 9
Like
up
that.
until she went off to college. And
Yeah, that's cool.
I'm not even sure now. It's been a couple of years of college, so
Yeah.
it's really that's
That's cool.
that's so neat because you do develop those relationships. And she said that it felt funny that when music is not a part of her life, it doesn't feel right.
See, yes.
And
That's
so she's,
what we
I mean,
want.
she's
That's
playing.
awesome.
She's back to playing,
Good.
and she bought a guitar, so now she might be coming for guitar lessons.
That's awesome.
But you know, it was really an interesting thing when music's not a part of my life. It doesn't feel right because it is. It's a great part of your life. I told her, yeah, it's a stress reliever, and it's a way of communicating.
Yeah.
And just feeling those emotions through music, and you know.
Well, this week was weird because I got asked at least 3 times this week by different kids. And for those of you listening, we're both me and my mom here are both public school teachers as well. But I got
I'm smarter than that.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I have to give it to you. Be your own boss, right? Man, see, now you just took the wind out of everything I was about to say.
We love it.
Just depressed now.
He just kids because he knows we love
Oh
our
my
jobs.
gosh. No, but I got asked at least 3 times by different kids, why do you teach music? Why do you like music so much? And I thought it was so funny because I don't usually get asked that question. I got asked at least 3 times this week.
All in one week?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I mean, I thought it was cool because the kids are they're thinking.
But it makes you think. You're right. Why do I teach music?
Well, that was it. Like sometimes it was like the first time I got asked, it was literally like we were dismissing. And it was like, I don't have time to sit here and write you a thesis. Like, what do you want? I like music. Get out of here. It's time to go home, okay?
I say things like, well, because like, that was the only thing I was ever good at. Or I'll say, like, because I can only count to 4. And then they just move on. They're like, what?
But that was
in your situation, you barely had a chance.
No.
You were in the cradle in the next room.
Right.
And I was playing the drums out here.
I know. Well, that's the thing is, it's like I've known it my entire life, and to be fair, and I am saying this candidly, okay, I was never pressured into becoming a music teacher. As a matter of fact, I was enkeraged to explore
Any other
all the other options.
You were going to be an astronaut.
I was an astronaut, and then archaeologist, aerospace engineer, architect. I mean, I went around, and I went and looked into all of those things, and they, ultimately that was it. It was teaching was where it was at. I enjoyed the teaching. I remember realizing at some point, I remember saying, even if I don't major in music, I'm going to be teaching.
Yes.
I remember telling you that.
Yeah.
Like, that was, like, I got it. It was like, okay,
but
I'm
it's
teaching,
good to really, I think it was good for you to kind of investigate those other options.
Well, absolutely.
Because I always wanted to be a teacher, always. And I'd set up my little teddy bears and my Barbie dolls, and we'd have school, and I would, do stuff, and I was always going to be a teacher. But then when I became like a teenager and had to really start thinking about it, my parents were like, "You're going to be a music teacher." And I said, "Oh, no, I'm not. Doggone it. You cannot make me."
Did you rebel?
I absolutely rebelled.
Oh, that's funny. I know.
So I looked into music therapy, and I couldn't, there was no way. I mean, I thought at that time, we're 100 years ago, you had to really promote yourself. It wasn't.
Well, it's way more prevalent.
It's way more prevalent now. Whereas back then they said, well, you have to be a salesman and you have to be able to promote what you do.
Yeah.
And that's the only way you're going to have a job and make money. So I thought, well, I can't do that. Plus, like blood and stuff. I mean.
Yeah.
So then I decided to go into music management, and that's why I went to James Madison, because they actually had a degree in music management. Other schools, you had to get like a music degree with a business minor and stuff. So I thought, well, this is going to be perfect. And so after about 6 weeks, I changed my major to music education. I didn't even make it the first semester.
Yeah.
So my parents were right.
Yeah.
Okay? They were right.
The subtle influence of copying Grammy.
No, they wanted all of us to be teachers because they both wanted to be teachers. Yeah. And they were not able to go to college and become teachers. So,
I think you can see that in people, though.
Yes.
Like you see sometimes you see some people, and it's just like there's a natural inclination to, I've got this information, I want to share it with you.
Oh, yeah.
That's what we talk about all the time. Teachers are born, not made.
Absolutely.
Good teachers.
Yeah.
I totally.
It's an innate ability to translate information.
Well, I think it's hilarious how I remember talking to a parent at your school one time, and he said, I think I was like 15 at the time, and he said, so you're looking at going to college, you're gonna be a teacher like your parents? I said, no. No way.
He's not a teacher like his parents.
Yeah,
he's
well,
a teacher like himself.
That is true.
Yes.
But that was it.
Quite different.
He said, he was like, why not? Why not? You would be great teaching at a school like this. I said, I don't have the patience. You know,
Oh.
that was, I know, right? Right?
Where did you learn that?
I know. And it was so funny because he said, oh man, he said, you'll learn. He said, it's like having kids, you know, like the first kid comes along and they spill something. You're like, oh my God, you spilled it. And he's like, by the third kid, you're like, okay, clean it up. He's like, you know, they'll learn how to have. And so, you know, even all the way through my college degree, the idea was band director.
Really?
Yes. Don't you remember?
No.
Yes. See,
I don't.
I know.
I was there too. I don't remember.
No, because that was the whole thing when I got to choose where I was going to
Perspective is
student
a-
teach. Well,
What
when
do
I
you
got
think?
to choose where I was going to teach, I didn't choose elementary.
No.
No.
I chose both high school and middle school
Yeah.
band because that was the idea. I'm going to be a band
I remember
director.
that, yeah.
Yeah, but that
Be the
didn't
band
really,
or chorus.
That didn't really work out there.
No,
Too
it
good
didn't.
for you now, did it?
No, it didn't. Well, and here we are, like what, 9 years later,
But
almost 10
man,
years later.
I wish
Yeah.
my elementary school music teacher was as cool as you.
Or me.
Yeah, you, but
Wait a
All
minute.
right.
he revolutionized what it is to be a grade school music teacher. I mean, he brings in the history of, you know, all this different genres and stuff,
Yeah.
and it gets these kids educated to a whole world full of information
Yeah.
and things that
It's
they would
exciting.
never, in the course of a normal education, run across. Unless they, you know, got nuts on a computer one day and just searched it all, ran it
Right.
all down. But
Right.
you know, you talk about all the you know, the black artists and
Yeah.
what they had to go through.
Oh,
and,
yeah. Oh, yeah.
you know,
That's a big
I
deal
mean,
to me.
That was,
yeah.
and you know that's close to your heart. You know,
Absolutely.
the struggle for
Yeah.
musicians to be respected and heard.
Right.
And,
Well, and then, you know, yes, see, you're gonna get me going because,
Ah.
you know, it's so important to understand that all American music, all of the music you listen to today, all the music that you like, you know, American music and really worldwide, heavily influenced by the spirituals that
Oh,
were
yes.
sung by the
Oh,
slaves.
absolutely.
And
Yeah.
and to neglect that or deny that is
that's the
crime.
powerful influence.
Yeah.
Yes.
And like I was listening to a blues song the other day, and it was, you know, it was different, and I was trying to put my finger on what made that so infectious to
Yeah.
me, because it was powerful.
Right.
It wasn't just, hey, that's a great groove you got going. It was like, oh
Yeah, it gets
I'm
into
in.
it.
Yeah, I'm hooked.
Yeah.
You know, was that element of that spiritual aspect of born out of suffering.
Yeah.
You know? And,
Yeah.
and what you do with minor keys and stuff, you know,
Oh,
make
yeah.
that stuff come out in the music, speak through the music, you know.
That's it.
But yeah, it grabbed me, and I was like, oh yeah, you know, that's so rich. you know.
Absolutely. Well, and it's something that it's a basic human expression, you know,
Oh yeah.
because you know we all understand happiness, you know, but we all understand suffering. We all understand
Yes.
pain. You know, you go through this life, you're gonna experience that, and it's part of whether we like to admit it or not. Those painful experiences are part of what shape our character.
Oh,
Yes.
And
absolutely.
shape
Yeah.
who we become as people.
Well, and it's what makes us human.
It's
Yes.
what makes
You know,
us human.
Humans suffer.
And it
that's
does-
a
it
that's a
connect-
universal
Yeah, it connects
thing.
us.
Yeah,
Yes.
everybody
Connected.
suffers.
Yes.
One way or another.
Yes.
And that, just think about that. How many things does the whole human race have in common?
Right.
I mean, we breathe air or something like that, but
yeah, I
Yeah.
know.
but you know, something like that we all suffer, and then you're going to take something that builds upon that foundation,
Right.
which is apparently a bad thing to most people to suffer,
Oh,
Yeah.
right.
and then take that and turn it into a good thing.
Exactly.
You know, and that's, you know, that's the power of music.
Absolutely.
It's awesome.
Absolutely. And that's what, you know, these slaves that were singing these songs, that were singing these spirituals and these work songs and these shouts, that's what they were doing, is they were expressing themselves on what they were, the oppression that they were feeling,
Yeah.
that they couldn't express out loud with words,
Right.
where they were expressing it through the music, through the
Yes.
moans, through the groans, you know.
But also, there was also hope in a lot of those songs.
Absolutely.
As well.
Yeah,
So
it's
it
all
wasn't
part of
all-
the package.
Yeah.
You know?
Exactly.
Because that's what
I
gets
mean,
us
if
through
you're-
suffering is
Right.
hope that there's something on the other side.
If you're suffering, there has to be hope.
Yes.
Or else you're just gonna die.
Yeah.
You
That's
know,
it.
wither up and die.
Yep.
So, and most people, even if they were mad enough to do that, wouldn't do it because there's still hope.
There is
That's
still
it.
hope.
That's
Yes,
it.
It's,
there
it's like a
always is.
flame eternal that's still in there
That's
somehow.
it.
You know?
Yes.
And so just
Very
to imagine, you know, to me just how much, you know, music would be different if we didn't have that, you know.
Oh, yeah.
And that's,
it's hard
you know,
to imagine
exactly,
that. Yeah.
exactly. You can't escape that. You can't
Right.
escape that influence, you know. So, I mean, talk about bringing down the race barriers right there.
Yes.
I mean,
Oh, yeah, it's
I mean, we
because-
could use a lot of that now.
absolutely.
Yeah,
like-
it is.
You know, I don't know. It's like soul music.
Yeah,
You know, it's kind of born out of that
Yeah.
absolutely.
same
Yeah.
root. You know.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it has those elements of what makes us relate to each other as
Yeah.
human beings, you know.
Right.
And then when you hear that and you're singing that and you're feeling that, it's a binding force, man.
Absolutely.
Unless you're an idiot and you're a racist. I mean,
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
you know,
some people are
and
just
some
you know,
people
it's
will
dead up here, you know.
Right, but I mean, even that, you know, I never understood. Like, so we were just Martin Luther King, you know, Day, you know, here coming up, and so this whole week, you know, doing stuff with the kids, you know, Poppy talking to me about how he went to see Aretha Franklin, and the audience was segregated,
Yeah.
and I'm
That
sitting
was
there
the
going,
time. That was the times that he.
I
lived
know,
in.
and
Yeah,
I sit there and
know.
go, you gotta be kidding me.
I know.
How they missed
Yeah.
everything
Yeah.
with that. With
Like-
that kind of stuff. If they, you know,
And see, that's the thing. It's like, I will sit here and appreciate this woman and what she's doing and
Yeah.
her music and how it's speaking to me and it's moving me but
But
can't sit next to somebody who looks like her.
yeah.
You
That's
gotta be
crazy.
kidding me.
It's a weird thing.
I don't understand that.
but hopefully, when he experienced that concert, that he wasn't the only one that thought that was weird.
Well, I'm sure,
Because that
yeah.
was, you know, but
Yeah.
hopefully, I mean,
No, I'm sure.
you know,
But that's, you know, these are the kind of things, like, I feel like it's so important to talk about with
well,
these
because our kids,
elementary
they
students.
just don't realize, because we were
Yeah.
able to share, because Poppy experienced stuff in his generation that he shared with all of us,
Mhm.
and we were able to really share those experiences.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah.
You're a crazy white man.
Yeah.
That's it. All right, well, we're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back. All right, and now we're back. So,
We're back.
how about that? Well, we kind of went, we went,
We went all
yeah,
over.
went all
man.
over.
That was
Yeah.
good, though. It was
We
good.
always kind of sit down and get like an idea, like, okay, what are we going to talk about? And it's kind of like a loose framework, and
Yeah.
then we just kind of go with it. And so, you know, we were gonna discuss some other things, but I mean
That
this
was good. It
This
was
was a
very
good
good.
one. Yeah, that was.
Well,
a good
and I
topic, yeah.
remember when you first started teaching elementary school, the first open house I think that you had,
Yeah.
I went, a couple of them I went to help out, and I went and these parents just wanted to meet you because
Yeah.
they were so excited. They were telling me, you know, where's Mr. Kaye? My son says they're learning about Stevie Wonder.
Yeah.
And they were so excited.
Well,
and they,
'cause, man,
yeah.
that was not my experience.
Right,
growing up,
and they
you
were
know.
really excited
It,
about
it was the
things.
masters or nobody.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
Here's music.
Yeah.
You know, between these two little things here.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's really like this,
Yeah.
or
Right.
just perpetual.
Right.
But you know that's all they valued, and
I
so
know.
you should only value that little,
Exactly.
and then ram it down your throat until
Exactly.
you do. And that
Exactly.
was the approach for music education. When I grew
Long
up.
time still is for some people.
It is.
Yeah, it's
And
ridiculous.
it is
It is.
ridiculous. And
That's
that's
what
what
I'm saying. When he was different
Right.
when he went into his job and he started and he's like, oh, you kidding me? I get to teach what I want to teach. Oh my God, you know. And he's like, they're gonna really get education.
We do
you know?
have standards and we do have a curriculum.
Yes, yes. He's not totally on the loose,
That's
but
it. That's
but
it.
no, you expanded the horizon
Yeah.
of what these kids could be exposed to, because a lot of them, man, you know, they could probably tell you they heard of I don't know, Elvis Presley
Right.
or Rolling Stones.
Right. Yeah.
But name any guys that were funky or blues artists, and
Right.
it's like, what? Who's that?
Yeah. Well,
Even-
just the
even
style.
Stevie Wonder. It's like what?
But just
what
the
does Stevie
style.
Wonder
When I
do?
say the word funk, they don't know what that
They don't
means
know.
sometimes, and it's like, oh, come on, we gotta change that. We gotta
Yeah.
change that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like the experience we had with Funk Brothers.
Oh, yeah.
Getting to know some of those guys and
Well, and I think that
hear them casually talk about their experiences and
Oh,
share with us.
big
Just
time.
What a rich education that was.
big
man.
time,
Awesome.
big time. I know.
Talking to
Experiences.
Pistol Allen about
Yeah.
what it's like to play the drums for
Yeah.
them, and geez, he didn't just play for them; he played for a
Like
slew of
everybody.
people.
Oh yeah.
And that was the kind of thing that you passed that on to
Absolutely.
another generation. That
Absolutely.
you had that rare opportunity, great opportunity to meet Bob Babbitt
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
and watch
Yeah.
Bob play the bass and meet with him on
Man,
a break
I
and
know.
talk to him and hang out with him.
Yeah,
and,
several times.
Yeah.
Several times. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was it. We were we were like regular Bob Babbitt fans.
yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For those of you that don't know, so the Funk Brothers were a group of musicians who played on all of the Motown hit records from the beginning of Motown to like at least the 70s, right?
Yeah, they survived to move to California.
Yeah, that was it. So
Yeah.
all of those hit records, that band themselves that played on all of those hit records, they had more hits than the Beach Boys, the Beatles, and Elvis Presley combined.
That's
Yeah.
pretty amazing.
It's pretty amazing, and
Yeah.
it was
And
all
nobody knows
group.
who they were.
Yeah.
They didn't even know who the Funk
They didn't
Brothers
even know
were.
who they were. So
Standing in the Shadows of Motown is a
Great.
video they made about that experience. You gotta watch that. You will be so blown away, and it's funny, it's entertaining, and it's got some awesome talent. And Bootsy Collins is in it.
Yeah.
oh yeah, oh
Well,
yeah.
it's obviously
Bootsy's
great
awesome.
movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, great music, and just so important to hear the story and hear how this band got put together and what they did and how they came together, and once again talking about bringing down those race barriers, because
Yeah.
I mean it was
Well, yeah, Detroit was burning, man.
Yeah.
They were in the studio.
they
making
were in the
music.
studio making music when
Yeah.
that was going on. I know, it was just crazy stuff.
Very cool.
Yeah, so Standing in the Shadows of Motown, great
Yeah.
documentary. All of you should go
Watch
look
it.
it up right now.
Yeah.
Watch it. You will thoroughly be enjoyed, and you get a lot of education, into how those records were being made.
And it's eye opener when you realize just how many records they're on.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah.
We talking to Pistol, and he's talking about, well, Uriel and I got two different signature licks.
That's it.
We're like, what? What are you talking about?
That's it.
Yeah. he goes,
You can always tell who's playing on each one because you hear that fill at the very beginning. That's Pistol's.
no, I'm gonna leave.
That's it. You can always tell. All right, that's Pistol on the drums.
Yep.
He's got that signature riff there. Yeah, exactly. Well, and James Jamerson. I mean, you'd be hard pressed to name a more iconic bass player. Especially with the grooves that he came up. One of my favorite songs of all time. What's Going On? I mean, you listen to that bass groove. That song would not be the same without
And
that.
that's
bass
one of
groove.
those ones that grabs you.
Yeah,
It does.
Grabs your heart, man.
absolutely.
But that's something I was thinking about this week, because we were listening to some music, just taking a drive, and a song came on, and I don't know why I happened to think, well, how's Ron listening to this different than me? And I thought, for me as a singer, I'm mostly listening from the top down. I hear the melody,
Yeah.
and then I hear the harmony, and maybe a second harmony, and then I might hear the guitar, and then the
You know where
bass,
this
and
is
then-
going.
Right, and he's listening to it from the bottom up, right?
It
From-
was complete
he's-
opposite.
Right, but it was just an
Drums
interesting
and
part,
bass,
the
yeah,
drums
yeah.
and bass. So I kind of changed, how I was focusing on it, and I thought, wow, the drums are really good. It was a Phil Collins song.
Oh,
the
wow.
drums,
Yeah.
and right,
How about the time we were listening to Tower of Power,
yeah.
and you got to hear Rocco Prussia and really listen to his playing?
Oh my
yeah,
gosh.
You became an instant Rocco
Yeah.
fan.
Well, and because it sounds like two people. You think really one person can't play that.
I mean,
I mean,
words can't describe
right.
that guy's talent, man.
Yeah.
I mean,
Rocco, yeah.
yeah.
But I was able to kind of translate that into one of my lessons this week. And I have a student that is really afraid to sing harmony. I mean, she has tried singing harmony.
Just private students?
Yes, a private student. She always fails, according to her, when she tries to sing harmony. She's like, I just can't do it. I always go back. And I told her, well, you got to flip it around. Start listening to things from the bottom up. You know, don't just listen to the melody.
See, this is what taking music lessons does for you.
Yes.
Is you first really begin to listen to music.
Yeah.
Because you can be a casual listener all your life and miss
Absolutely.
all this stuff
so
going on.
You do.
Yep.
You know, incredible, talented people laying out the greatest, coolest stuff. And it'll just be like, yeah, you know,
That's
it's
good.
okay. Yeah.
I know.
No,
And
it's
then
what happens.
you start
What happens.
taking
It is
lessons,
what
all of a sudden
happens.
you start listening for your particular instrument.
That's right.
And you go, oh, wait a minute, you know.
That's
Well,
right.
and now what I love is that you'll hear the bassoon and you'll go,
Yes.
there's
Oh,
a
it's a
bassoon!
bassoon.
And I'm like, yes!
I've been infected.
Oh, so those of you who don't know,
That's
I
it.
minored in bassoon. So
There you go.
I did.
That's it. That's it.
But
That's
but no,
cool.
it is really cool because you hear. I remember, so she was asking me about learning harmony, and I said, well, you know, when my son, you know, was singing, and then I wanted him to do harmony with me. I wasn't very patient, but my biggest thing was I told him to listen to harmony and listen and sing. You know, when you're in the car or whatever, sing, and
Sing
especially like the Eagles. There's like 5-part harmony on some of that stuff. Pick one of those lines and try to go with it and stay with it. And you know, I still like to do that. I mean, it's
just for
almost
fun.
like, you know, a game. You know, you pick a part and then you try to just follow that part.
Grew up doing that.
Well, yeah.
Well, see, that's the thing.
Yeah.
Is you know, but I mean, that doesn't mean that nobody else can do that.
No,
I mean,
no,
it's
not
just,
at all.
It's just you're a little bit more
At a young
comfortable.
age, that's all.
because you started at a younger age.
But you just have to change how you listen to a song. Take the same song and just listen to just the drums and really focus on that. Or just listen to the bass. Or just, you know, because when I started playing bassoon, it flipped it for me, because all of a sudden I was hearing the bass line a little bit more.
Right.
Although the bassoon doesn't always, a lot of times it plays that in between parts.
Yeah, it's
kinda
like
weird.
counter melody.
Yeah, but it, you know, still, I think it's a really neat thing to think about, and it really opens up how you hear music, and it makes
That's
you
it.
appreciate it more.
That's good.
Peter and the Wolf.
There you go.
know?
There
I
you
mean,
go.
listen to that song and really give it a good, strong listen to what's going on, what instruments are being played.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's a good example.
It is
cool.
a good
That's
example.
cool.
So that's kind of not where we were going.
Yeah, it doesn't
That's
matter.
really
This is
great.
this is coffee with the Kays.
Coffee.
Yeah,
This is
I'm
what it's
out of
like,
coffee.
people. I know. This is what it's like. You come over and have a cup of coffee with us.
There
this
you
is
go.
exactly
You never
what
know
you
what's
see.
You
Yeah,
never know what's gonna
That's
come
right.
up.
That's
That's
right.
exactly it.
Well, that sounds like a good place for us to wrap it up. So thank you all for joining us for Coffee with the Kays. We would love to hear from you because
Yes.
you guys give us ideas. You know, our students too. You know, throughout the week, but different. You know, whoever's listening to this and watching us, you guys give us ideas for things that you would like to hear us discuss. That'd be great. So be sure to subscribe to us on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, anywhere you're listening to this podcast. You can check us out at Ron Kaye's Music Instruction. It is musiclessonspensacola.com, at Ron Kaye's Music Instruction on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook as well. The intro and outro music for this podcast comes off the album K-Struction by Ron Kaye. So be sure you check that out everywhere you get streaming. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for joining us, and go Browns.
Go
Go Browns!
Browns!